Creative Misfits.
Look, paint a picture that is far from perfect. Counting pennies and dennies, knowing it's far from worth it. Cold veins going through my body. Still sleeping good, knowing that they can't stop me. And you just here for remorse, cause you're feeling self-conflicted and your image is forced. Damn. Take it easy, dog. The filter is fine. You gon' get all of your likes, homie. Give it some time. Sheesh. Konnichiwa to all the season's greetings. Venusia's also deeply rooted, but nevertheless predict the stress and then we counter flex and put it straight to your chest and then manifest a check. We on that Poochie and spraying Gucci for graduation. Adapt or misguided love. Do not believe in haters. I'm on a mission, a good production like New Edition. Don't give him too much. I'm cutting it like a circumcision. Gwala.
All right, welcome to Creative Misfits, episode 34. I am your host, One Known.
And I am your hostess, Lyrical Relief.
And today we have special guest right here. Honorable mention guest, you could say, probably.
Yeah.
KP Gwala is here with us today. Hip-hop artist extraordinaire.
Definitely, man. Appreciate it.
Good to have you here again.
For sure.
And we're looking forward to kind of talking about what you got going on now.
Yeah.
So to start getting into it, Lyrical Relief is going to set off the questions.
All right, so KP, besides the new project, which we will definitely get into, what have you been up to?
What have I not been up to? No, seriously. In the midst of the project, I've definitely just been trying to network a lot more with the city, show more support as a fan, keeping my ears to the ground, just pushing projects and singles and shows and events and just putting more attention on the networking and of the whole thing. And I've been able to just interact as a fan and get a different insight, almost like for my own, pursuit as well in the process, which helped me with the project as well.
Nice.
So it's all been even indirectly involved with the project, but definitely just got a good glimpse of the city and a lot of great music right now coming out. So it's been good.
Nice. Awesome.
That's a fact.
Yep. So since the last time you were here, we saw that you graduated with your master's. So talk about that a bit. What did that mean to you?
It meant a lot then, but if anybody tell you that has a master's or a degree, it has its moments where you don't see its full value.
Yeah.
I can't relate. Honestly, I mean, just the feeling of, walking across the stage and those, 2 years that I put into it, 2 years plus actually, because I've been to 2 different programs. It made it worth it because I went to a school, I was in a program where I was one of 3 black men.
Okay. Gotcha. Heard that.
Put it on a whole different level.
Yeah,
to just walk and see my name amongst the others,
Yeah.
If someone was to tell me, you can have that feeling, but you have to go to school for just a couple years and pay all this money. It sounds bad, but that feeling is just way better.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And, I took advantage. Then a few weeks or a few months go by, and I told my manager of my current, job, I was like, look, I got this degree.
So
what can we do?
Yeah, for sure.
Straight up.
She challenged me. She told me straight up. She was like, all right, not what we can do, but what you can do. So she, set up a plan for me to come up with my own, streamlining program and things like that. All these things, I think, which helped me kind of get into the opportunities that I'm in now. So, from the masters, I have seen a pay increase.
Nice.
I have seen a new, job opportunity. So I wouldn't say it's totally in vain to anybody that's in it now. It feels like it, trust me.
Yeah.
Especially when, they start hitting you up for them loans.
Yeah.
Straight up.
But at the end of the day, that's something that no one will ever be able to take away from you.
For sure.
Yeah, like all the work, all the time you put into it.
And they're trying to take everything from people these days, so you want to keep
That's
on.
true.
you know, what you got, whatever hard work you got, you know, if it's a piece of paper, hey, let that be the most expensive piece of paper you work for, bro.
It symbolizes, you know,
a whole lot.
everything that you put into it, you know what I mean?
The discipline, the accountability, time management, you know, these were all things that were just constant, you know, test to myself. And even now being in a master program where you're not so fine-tuned into the setting of class, you do this, you live on campus and this, like you have the freedom to live your life still and be an artist and all that other stuff, you know. To believe it or not, that is my gimmick. People ask me, you know, like, what is it? You know, my story is very unique because, like I said, I would literally night and day this shit in terms of, I can, you know, pursue a music career and live of the persona and develop a persona within it that seems like it makes sense. But I'll throw you with the curveball and you can check my resume and see that, you know, the work has definitely been put in on both sides.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So that's another great feeling.
Making it happen in both lanes.
Got to.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. All right, so another thing that we saw recently, well, fairly recently, I guess you could say, is that you went to Dubai, which is, I'm sure, a pretty interesting, you know, experience. So what can you tell us about that whole vacation and just how that whole trip went, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely. It was surreal, man. It's a place where, like, you can tell that, like, there's just different parts, different values of life, like quality of living.
Yeah.
And they value things different there. They take pride in their customs and their traditions, and they're so disciplined with them, you know. It's apparent why they are successful and as a beautiful a city as it is. It's because they take a lot of pride in that. Like, as soon as you get off the plane, like, the air just feels different. Yeah. And, you know, you go over there, you're thinking like, oh, it's the you know, Middle East is boiling hot, you know. But just to be in just the realm of, you know, some of the greatest buildings you've ever seen, greatest cities, and just like everything is so massive. The heat and all that stuff is like the last thing on your mind. And it cut a lot of tradition, like traditional stereotypes. They cut them right up in half, you know. You would think that, like, all the women, they would have to be all, I mean, you had them, but you had, you know, because it was like a tourist city, like they open it up and it's real modern. And I love that. Like, you got the full traveling experience. I sound like a salesperson for Dubai, like a travel agency and shit. But no, seriously, like, if you the type of person that like the city life and the clubs and like in the different bars and the different restaurants to go to, they got all that. They hip to all the music. They hip to everything we listen to. The time we went, you know, we saw Fetty Wap. I think Rick Ross was there the week before. If you into like just that whole tranquility, relaxing on the beach type thing with the palm trees and your mimosa.
And they got that too?
They got that too, man. It was a place that we went to where we pretty much were just off of the affinity pool to the Dubai Marina. And they serve you in the can, you know, in the cabana with the mimosas and the fresh fruit. And
straight up,
I don't eat fruit like that, but I was crushing the mimosas, and it was just like it's just a surreal feeling. And then, like I said, with the culture and their traditions, they're serious about that. So you definitely, if you're looking to just try to experience something outside of just like American culture and just see how other people, you know, take serious in their religion and family and stuff like that, we went to the Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque.
Yeah,
and if anybody knows what that is, like, that's like a really, really big place in Abu Dhabi where you can pretty much just get a full insight to the way that they live and their what they do in terms of their quality of celebrating their life and praying and all that stuff. We was right in it. I had the whole get up
we saw that.
With the turban, man, and with my Yeezys on, but like I was still out there. But and you know, I learned so much and just from that trip and then going into the desert, like those are the moments, honestly, where I feel like when I be like at work and it like I don't be like with shit or like in traffic in Orlando traffic, like I really be blown. Like I really just close my eyes and I think about like those times.
Go back to that place and shit.
Hey, it's really one of those visuals that just, it can stick with you, bro, and change your mind, like, on a lot of things. It just puts a lot of things in perspective. I was out there for 10 days, so, like, I got a full experience, you know. I went to the Gold City and bought all the touristy stuff for the family, and
straight up,
you know, it was just a great experience. So
That sounds pretty cool for
Yeah.
sure.
yeah, you really like kind of painted the picture with it. Like we saw, you know, we saw like the pictures on like your IG and stuff like that. But it's cool.
It was a little flexing, man. It was a little flexing being done, but
yeah, it was a lot.
It was a lot of work.
It was a lot of pictures, maybe too much.
Right. And you know what's crazy over there? So like the time zones are totally different. Like we were like 8 hours ahead or some shit like that. But we had to get these pictures off. And if you know IG posts this, there's like prime posting hours. So you can't just be flooding the timeline at like 4 in the morning, you ain't gonna get your likes. So I kid you not, bro. We were in there, we like sleep, but we was setting an alarm just so we can get posting pictures. And that's why it would seem like we was like, well, dang, they taking all these pictures. Like, that's why, because
like we trying to
match up to y'all.
Yeah,
we trying to match up to y'all. Time, man, we get these likes, man. All these outfits and stuff, man. We flexing.
Work hard for them likes.
It's Dubai, man. Like Lamborghinis were like Hondas over there, man, and you know, like it's just everybody looked like they came right out of a reality show, like those TV shows. So you wanted to go out there, you don't mess around. You'll feel awkward if you don't flex a little bit.
Yeah, if you don't go hard with it.
Yeah, that's a once in a lifetime experience, like hands down.
Very nice, very nice.
Awesome.
I don't know if I'm ever gonna do it because I'm not a big
he
plane person.
He doesn't fly. We gotta drive everywhere.
Bro, let me tell
when
you,
we do
that is not
trips.
your flight. It's 15 strong hours.
No, we would have to find a cruise to somewhere and then another cruise to somewhere. We would have to it'll take us like a whole
chop it up.
It would take us like a whole month or something to finally get there.
See, like I had this problem.
we
was
taking
sitting
boats
for too long. Yeah, I feel you on that, man. You could take a boat if you want to, but I mean, just to anybody, I think just regardless of wherever you go, whether it's the Barclays, I've been like different places, London, Paris, so those places. Regardless of wherever it is outside of America, just gives you that insight and just puts a lot of things in perspective. So regardless of wherever you go,
just try to get some traveling in.
Get you a passport, and just do it. It's worth every whatever it is, it's worth it.
Facts.
Yeah.
Try to get like you one day.
Oh man, it's been a hell of a year, man. Definitely.
All right, well. We talked a little bit about just kind of what you've been up to lately, just on your regular vibe pretty much, or, just kind of what you've been doing like on your day-to-day. But we do want to, start getting deep into the project, Honorable Mention Volume 2.
Yes.
We definitely want to talk about that, as in-depth as possible. So one thing I want to ask about it is like why you chose to do the Volume 2. Mm-hmm. And then beyond that, just the title, just kind of generally talk about the project and tell the people a little bit about the project. So whether it be, whatever you feel like talking about, whether it be the creative process or, the storyline behind it or, just whatever general idea you want to give people, that along with the reasoning behind the title.
Well, I feel like the concept was written to be segmented. It wasn't going to just be one project because I feel like it had to play off different perspectives. So, Honorable Mention Volume 1, I will say, was the music for the people. For anybody that was familiar with my music that's when I first started, and if anybody remembers that project, it was like all over the place.
A little mixture.
As it should have been, though. I wanted to kind of just show love to the different sounds of that time. I mean, specifically, it was just beginning of last year. My very first project was February 2016, but it was a great time for music, another great time for music, and different sounds were starting to transfer to a certain sound. I peeped that, so I was like, before it gets there and people start claiming lanes, let me just kind of show my versatility, my different flows, my different attributes to the game, kind of like as a resume, what have you. So that's what that was, and why Honorable Mention. That concept came from the theory of the underdog. Knowing you, I know we've talked before. You push for the underdog for various reasons, and one reason because it's just like, I feel like everyone these days more than ever probably are focused on the top spot right now, being the boss. I don't want to work for nobody. I don't want to do this forever. The entrepreneurial mindset is a good thing. The ambition is great. But let's not forget the process. Let's not forget those moments where you just don't get your credits due. You may have gotten overlooked. Does that stop the hustle? Does that stop the effort? Do you not give 100 just because you weren't seen?
Gotcha.
And I feel like just right now, especially in the game of rap, it's just like it's a confidence-driven sport. Is in terms of like everybody just has to embellish that they're the best. So I get it. Naturally, everyone wants to be the best.
Heard that.
But everybody is not the best. Some people are first, second, third, and some people are honorable mention.
Gotcha.
So it makes sense. So like with that, I was like kind of just wanting to shed light on that, making you feel like regardless of you're not the best, you can be different and still leave that legacy or whatever.
And still be
in the midst of conversation, because like that's what you want, relevancy. You don't want that credibility. And I feel like not even just in terms of music, but as a culture, they have never given us, regardless of what our contribution has been to them, they've never given us those accolades as deserved, like that matched up with our talents and abilities and stuff. No matter how hard we've done or left an impression, they'll leave it at
somebody's
best.
Still gonna
try to discredit it. Oh well, she had an advantage, or she did this, or she didn't do that, or she's an inner city youth, so it's common for sympathy. Like, no, let our story be our story.
Yeah.
And at best, just if history was to write it, we would just always honorable mention, and that's just a kind of just like a insight on, regardless, again, who tells the story, it's still the people that are living these lives, and we can claim it. Don't let them tell us what it is.
Like you can still own your experience, and just do what you do, and no matter what people say, like,
hey, look. You could be playing now, but eventually you ain't gonna have no choice because you see who's running it. So they taking your choice away if they want to. So that was volume 1 for the people. Volume 2, that's my story.
Okay.
That's my perspective. This is my sound. This is my lane to claim. And that just meant more so now that I've given the perspective of the people, what do I want to be, identified as in terms of my flow and energy levels,
Gotcha.
whatever it sticks out the most. I'm claiming that on this project.
Yeah.
A lot of energy, a lot of bars. Just because it's me as I see the world, and it's I'm very articulate, to detail in terms of expressing myself. Never had a problem with it. So I did that on this beat. On this project, and every beat.
Yeah, on this beat, that beat.
On this beat and that beat on this project, but every beat did have like its own story and all these things, but yet it still flows, and it just takes on the story from the people to me personally, because it leads on to a better thing. Okay, so you don't want to be just honorable mention.
Yeah.
Do you have to take accountability and self-awareness to say, what can I do to be better next
step
time?
yourself up above
and how do you
honorable
do
mention.
that? Exactly. So even though you want to embrace it and accept it, it's like, I didn't get my credit. Like, I feel like with the culture now, like, we're all so woke. We're now admitting to the idea that, like, we've been shortchanged. Okay, so now what are you going to do?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And right now, the most important thing at any time of change or reflection, you reflect on yourself first. You claim that first, and I guarantee anybody around you will naturally help. So that's the whole point. So volume 1 to 2, back to 3 is going to go from people to me, back to the people.
Back to people.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Get it?
I like
Hell yeah.
So this is just going to be more intimate, more like I said, just more of my usual, whatever sticks out to you. Like I said about me, that's what you're gonna get on this.
Okay.
I don't stray too much away. I channeled in, honestly, like I said, I haven't been listening to nothing but underground artists and myself.
Got you.
which has been a beautiful thing because, like I said, the vulnerability that I've had with myself and just making this project, I knew it was going to be something big.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
it's going
Very
to be
good.
real.
Very good. Well, definitely, we're looking forward to it. We didn't get a chance to listen to it just yet, but
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're
definitely gonna be pressing
definitely
play
looking
on it.
forward to listening to it for sure.
Yeah, no, I do little teasers, little snippets here and there. You may have got like I think with this project
You heard
too.
Shine for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you heard Shine, the first single off the project, but I did some of like insights to the studio sessions, and I'll do like little random clips on my IG stories or on Twitter, whatever. So you can hear it coming. May not get a full rap about it, but you know, because people talking now. I'll see people now. They be like, "Yeah, the project coming out." I'm like, "That's what you need to know. Get your mind right. Tell your grandmother.
Everybody.
Tell everybody." Man.
Yeah.
All right, so we wanted to talk about the trailer.
Yeah.
And we noticed that you continued with the fox mask.
Yeah.
Trademark. I think that's gonna be a thing.
For sure.
It could be a
That's
thing.
just like
let it be a
your.
thing.
That's
That's just like one of your
One of
aesthetics,
his
basically.
things,
Like
yeah.
one of your aesthetic.
You'd be surprised. I've moved so many times. Like even like in the last year, I moved 3 times, and I've lost a lot of things. Like just can't find them. I cannot not lose that match. And I'll know right where it is. Oh, it's right there. Boom. So yeah, even if I don't want to stick with it, it's sticking with me.
Heard that.
But yeah.
So yeah, we noticed you brought that back in, and we noticed that your visuals are like always on point. So tell us like the creative process behind this trailer for the project.
Well, what I did with like I said, with this whole project, itself, I did a lot of just like research within myself, and I took notes within my previous visuals and things like that, and then also ultimately my sound. So if you listen to the song Shine that's playing, it's a little more upbeat, melodic. The flow, the melodic flow kind of makes it a little more mainstream.
Heard that.
But if you're following music now, it's all about the irony and the oxymoronic ways to put your visuals. Meaning, what I mean by that is like, so if a song is bright, I use dark colors.
Yeah.
You get it? If a song is dark, I use like creepy ass bright, like clown house colors. Seriously, like my next visual, like the little things got thrown off because, like I said, like I got a lot going on in terms of my personal. But the plan is like my next visual, which is coming very soon, is going to be very bright. But that's because the song is very, very heavy. Like it's almost like grudge.
Gotcha.
But it's just to go out of what's expected because as an artist. Just in this time, the idea of attention spans with visuals, you have to not be predictable. You cannot be just the typical. I mean, you can embrace the 40 guys from the hood to come pull up, tote the guns. Let's just do that on a Friday night and pay some kid to shoot it.
Yeah.
Or you can sit down and
actually
even
put
if
some
it's
thought into it.
right, even if it's a trailer, like I get and I'm glad you asked him about it because I literally got somebody to ask me about it today. He was like, "Well, when's the video coming out?" I'm like, "Bro, you don't need no video. You know I'm coming. That's all that matters. That's all that you need to know." Because let's be real, I haven't even watched a whole video from anybody, not even my favorite artist.
Yeah.
From beginning to end.
Yeah.
Right. So
depends on I guess what people actually have time to consume and what they're actually willing to sit down and consume.
But I also know my market. Like now, like you have some kids who go full blown, like they'll binge on their favorite artists. They'll sit on their YouTube channel and just go
videos
they'll have like a party and they'll just play your whole kickback like playlist. I get that. Unfortunately, that's not my target.
Yeah.
My target market is they're like making moves, and when the new hot song comes out, they'll play it. If it pops, it's on the playlist. And if their friends ask them about it, they'll show them your visuals. That's as far as it goes.
Heard that.
you know. And you know, that's not to knock anybody else who sees the validity in doing, you know, extended
like a visual for every song.
Right,
shit.
but if you're gonna do that, like I said, still challenge yourself to put a concept to it or have some kind of premise to it. Like I said, I wanted it to be like specifically right when the sun is about to set. Like it's like we were changing seasons at that time. Like it was a whole lot, even in that 60 seconds. So if you get what you want in that 60 seconds, you know, I like to challenge myself of just putting it in that box. And it, like your dopest commercial. I mean, you have a lot of crossover artists that are doing that. Like now they're not embellishing a whole advertising, you know, rollout with just trying to promote H&M jeans, but they will get the weekend to put H&M jeans on for 15 seconds, walk out of a door, and put H&M at the bottom, and it's like, holy shit, H&M got weekend jeans. I need the weekend jeans, and it sells out.
That shit did sell out.
You know,
fast.
ask them what their budget was for that video. I had shot that at my house,
Heard that.
and right across the street. And you know, and we did like 2 solid days of shooting, but me and the guy was like, look, you know, our resources is just the way we shoot it. And it was
like, if
we
you get
went out
creative with it, like you can make
I've always put it like this, like in terms of visuals, like I said, the light and dark thing to the music, and then secondly, you know, you put 2 people in a room, you know, even you've probably came across this as you guys do the visuals. You know, you put 2 people in a room, they will shoot in the same direction. I promise they won't even get the same shot though. There's a chance that they may have done something, either the angle is different, the focus is
Something's different. It's not going to be the same.
Different. So I don't care what's in the video as much as the concept and who's putting the critical thinking behind how it's going to be shot.
Yeah,
so,
I agree. It's important.
It was definitely important. So shout out to, that's my homie, Justin Buzzy. He's actually an artist out here as well. Like I said, from in the midst of just going through the project, I've just got an opportunity to just be a fan of a lot of artists as well, going to their different shows. And I met him, and I came to him with the concept. He said, "Say no more." Yeah, I said, "Hey, just to let you know, I get a little creepy. I got a mask in my book bag. Don't let the mask fool you." But if you notice, with the mask, it's what I'm doing slowly but surely. And there's always a method to it.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing now, if you remember last year, it was just I showed the mask, or me having the mask on.
Yeah.
Closer to the end of last year, I started showing myself taking the mask off, yet still not revealing my face. This shows me taking the mask off, revealing my face, and even as myself, which is more importantly, it's like I said, as I'm tapping into myself, I want to
ties
make
more into like
more
what you're trying to do music-wise.
As last year, I said I wanted to hide my identity as I push the people, because that's what's more important than music for the people.
Yeah.
And now
It's the
that,
other
like
way
you said,
around.
it's all
Now
about
it's
you.
me. So I said, now let's get a little personal.
Yeah.
Y'all know the mask, but now it's time to know me.
Okay.
So
Nice.
that's
I definitely, I love that.
yeah.
Cool.
Very thoughtful in
thoughtful.
every like aspect of what you do, which is good. That
Exactly.
shows that you're dedicated and
You think
that
about
you're really
everything,
about
all
this
the
shit.
details
You know what I mean?
and everything that's.
Well, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, shit. Y'all just said it before y'all got here. I mean, before we started this, I probably won't ever forget it. What visuals do to audio, regardless of whatever it is, promo, whatever, you could do a whole movie. A whole movie. It just leaves a different impression.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to leave an impression that's more so like, so that was like the first trailer. That was like my first time even mentioning the project. That's the first impression.
Yeah.
You gotta pay attention to detail. That's one of just my strongest attributes. Not even as an artist, just as a man. Like,
Just period.
you pay attention to detail, I guarantee you'll just come off sharper. You'll look better. You'll feel better. Your imagery would just be better, and then ultimately your impressions would just be, more defined. So, I did that with this. When we went out there, even from the model that I picked and everything, I said like, look, you tell me what you want to do, but we're gonna make sure you look right and you're comfortable and all these things like that, because I don't care if you feel like, I'm just here for this shot, man. It's a big shot, and it was, because everybody, as soon as we put the video, it was like, who was that?
Who that be?
And I said, it was because he shot it great, she looked great, and we all thought about it before we did it. So lessons learned, like the dark, 2 shots, 2 perspectives, and definitely just take pride in it, man. Put thought into it.
Put that work into it. Put that thought into it. Don't just be
Yeah. Don't just
throwing
put
random
everything
shit together.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we are having a good time here with KP, but now it is time for the playlist.
Yeah.
And we do want to thank everyone who contributed to this week's playlist, and we'll be right back.
Yeah.
Creative Misfits.
Bitch. Mr. White. My money, bitch. Lil bitch. Gang. Niggas put respect up on my name. I can fuck like any bitch I want. She said I feel great inside her throat. I said your next don't push her head so good. So the flex none to it. I don't fuck with those boys. Yeah, never hate, bitch, I'm obliterate every nigga in my way. Yeah, change play, it rotate. I proceed to procreate, having sex to my beat. I'ma fuck the industry, horrify, say la vie. I'ma be out in these streets till they know my name, face, and everybody wanna be Lil bitch, 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 Lil bitch.
Do not fuck with you. Yeah, I know. They let me know at the minute they go up and slander your namesake. Well, that's fucked up. There's power in pussy, but pussy niggas need to learn about my aim rate. Guns now? We know your chain fake. Neck green. This for that flame tape? Where you pussies be bending over like you prepping for gang rape? Ooh. Power pussy penetration. Pussy niggas cross the nation. I ain't got no kind of patience. Now I wouldn't call it hating. I'm just better than you niggas. Look, rap's a fucking competition. I ain't really with the dissing. I'm trying to murder these other niggas till they got nothing left but a little shiny pot to pissing. 700 rounds, I'm a bulldog. Yu-Gi-Oh nigga, I'm a pull cars. Chasing these checks down the boulevard. Yeah. I ain't dragging my feet, but my wood hard. 700 hoes on my dick. Yeah. Get a couple likes when I post my pic. Yeah. You're the toilet and I'm the shit. This my pose, bro. Check my feet.
Lil bitch, 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 Lil bitch.
Round running, any nigga wanna run it. Keep it 100, hit him with a 9-9. Cause he wasn't budging, notice that I said wasn't. Now he be like, cousin, damn, them nigga wasn't lying. Hey, still fuck you and your crew, and fuck all your homies too. Just cause I got cash coming out my ass won't mean I rob you too. I still on like Rocky too. Been all nights like hockey do. Lil bitch, lil thing, get her snap, give her dick. Boy, I'm about to fire your ass out, boy. I swear to God, I'ma list your rap names right now, boy. Starting off with Young Mediocre, boy. I'm about to fire you up, boy. Young Disappointment, boy. I'm about to fire your ass up, boy. Matter of fact, look at me in my face right now, boy. You look like a little bitch.
Lil bitch, 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 Lil bitch.
I got a big weed stash, pocket full of cash. Just seen a big old ass, it's just another summer day. Systems on blast, bottles getting passed. Seen another big old ass, it's just another summer day. Hey, alarm clocks don't wake a nigga up no more. Lit last night, let a new bad bitch in my life. Met her at the party, had to end my night. But did you slide out? What the fuck? act like I love that bitch? How you gon' act like I don't stay scrap? How you gon' act like I don't break backs when I'm knocking pussy out like I don't need naps? Ring, ring, push a main to me on dead. Need a sack, pack up blunts and my night is all set. Hit it once, call her back if it's pretty boss sex. Hit her with that straight drop like my nigga Offset. I get it, I get it, I get it. I get it, I get it, I get it. Hey, no matter the city I'm living, I'm reppin' Broward all the way to the ending. Call me Finito, I finish it. I'm so sorry, mama, I know I be sinning. Just mixing these lemons that life always throwing at me. Made that lemonade that made Beyonce happy. Caught a nigga all up in the zone. Ain't by money, bitch, just leave me alone. Asking for me, can't you see I'm gone? Bitch, it's always summer, can't you see I'm grown? I got a big weed stash, pocket full of cash. Just seen a big old ass, it's just another summer day. Summer. Systems on blast, bottles getting passed. Seen another big old ass, it's just another summer day.
Yeah. We up so big on the lookout. With styrofoam plates at the cookout. With cups in the kitchen and shots for the attention. And brought down the street cause my neighbor be bitchin'. This KP, I cook up the recipe. With extra sauce, that be the chef in me. And keep that money on my mind and I watch it go up on its own like telepathy. Damn, swear I be the coolest in the summer. Super soaker blow with the drummer. It don't rain in Southern California. But if it did, you know I gotta get up on it, and hit that and let pain come in with dope lines. Red and blue and hit, got them throwing up both sides. They say it's a superstition, but it's all a premonition off the top. Turnbuckle right into a clothesline, dang. Got the moves, y'all nigga, got the moves. 2 months out of school and we acting like some fools. Got a season pass and going to Six Flags. Just copy a little shorty and a little bit of grass. Yeah, they say they know the gang go hard. New waves never gonna fade on us. Never sweat a debit, but I always need the credit. So you past due niggas can pay your knuckle.
All the memories came to me as I scrolled across your name. It's 2 a.m. and my phone says that I'm running out of space. Yeah, thought that my message was failing when you wasn't communicating. Should've listened to what they were saying. I can't believe I gave you all of me and you threw me away. Tell me how you feel, but you still lying to my face. You can't keep it real or keep up with the pace. Since that's how you feel, your number I'll replace. I'll make sure that you can't reach me, reach me, reach me, locked in my lap for a while now, clearing what's up in my head, chasing this breath for some time now. My feelings for you have expired, but then that will make me a liar. I don't know why I cannot get tired of you, yeah. This could have been all yours, all yours. Hey, no competition for sure, for sure. Look who calling my name. I see you calling my name. Can't hear you, I'm up in the plane, yeah. Boy, I'm doing my thing. how you suddenly giving a damn. I gave all of me, you threw me away. Tell me how you feel when you still lying to my face. You can't keep it real or keep up with the pace. Since that's how you feel, your number I'll replace. I'll make sure that you can't reach me. Never again, reach me. Reach me. Never again, reach me. Reach me. Never again, yeah. Reach me. Time. All I needed was some time, yeah. Sit back, open up my eyes to understand that you was never mine. Now I see it's so clear to me. Used to do for you, now I do for me. Flying to New York, shows in Miami. Didn't want me then, now you needed me. I know you regret it, you regret it, you regret this. Should've listened, should've listened, should've listened. Now you're calling my phone, I'm not gonna even respond. I'm way far into my zone. I have already moved on. Now all of your bitches, they singing my song. Gave you all of me, you threw me away. Tell me how you feel when you still lying to my face. You can't keep it real or keep up with the pace. Since that's how you feel, your number I'll replace. I'll make sure that you can't reach me. Reach me, reach me, reach me, reach me, reach me, never again, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Hey. Sometimes you got to. Elite. Yeah. I was lost. Yeah. I ain't recognize myself. Had to take a look at my reflection like you gotta go and get it by yourself. By yourself, yeah. Sometimes you got to lose yourself just to find yourself. Ay. Sometimes you got to lose yourself just to find yourself. I remember being lost. I remember having doubts. That's why a nigga always working. That's why I'm never in the house. Some of you niggas didn't fit the vision, had to go and cut you niggas out. You ain't build how we build, nah. You ain't grow up in a drought. Said I used to be at grandma's house at Euclid down on Crystal, stealing chips from Family Dollar. Man, your grandson, he a pistol. Used to be the underdog, 4'11". I was little, now I'm bigger and I'm better. That's forever, that's forever. I was lost. Yeah, I ain't recognize myself. Had to take a look at my reflection like you gotta go and get it by yourself. By yourself, yeah. Sometimes you got to lose yourself just to find yourself. Ay. Sometimes you got to lose yourself just to find yourself. I don't wanna struggle no more. I don't wanna cry anymore. I don't wanna turn on the TV and see any young brothers die anymore. Nah, nigga, that shit for the birds. You get better is what you deserve. We all just so lost on this planet, we don't even know why we here on this earth. We here to love each other, stop putting people above each other. When we gon' realize we all the same. Sooner than later, I'm hoping we about to flood the game. Peace and prosperity's all that I wanted, that's all that I wanted to see. Yeah, know that they coming for me. You can get Martin, but can't get a dream. I was lost. Yeah, I ain't recognize myself. Had to take a look at my reflection like you gotta go and get it by yourself. By yourself, yeah. Sometimes you got to lose yourself just to find yourself. Ay. Sometimes you got to lose yourself just to find yourself. Sometimes you got to lose yourself just to find yourself.
Creative Misfits. All right, and we're back. Again, a big thank you to all the artists that contributed to this week's playlist. And of course, we want to give a special shout out to the good people over at Hip Hop Everything. You can catch out their site and station at hiphopeverythingforreal.com. That's the number 4. Hip Hop Everything, hip hop's indie hotspot. And just tune into our social media, and we'll be letting you know when we do future airings on their station. And now, we're going to get right back into this interview with KP.
What's up, y'all?
And let's see, the next question that I have for you is, being a creative and a businessman, tell us about your marketing strategy for this project. And, were there any lessons that you learned from the last project and also now being an MBA graduate that you can kind of that you are putting into this project now?
I would say changing my way of thinking from appealing strictly to your target audience by just creating a target to begin with. And what I mean by that is tapping in within yourself first, seeing what your attributes are, your strengths, your weaknesses. So the beautiful thing, of course, with marketing is it is for the people. Yeah. It's directly, correlated to supply and demand. So if you know people, your marketing tactics are just naturally better.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But what's happening is, especially with music, is so saturated and so everybody's doing it in such an abundance. Yeah. It's hard to see what's what exactly.
Yeah.
There's so many things, like every little thing is a thing. Yeah. So you can't just be like, well, I'm just gonna do what's hot right now. A lot of things are hot. Yeah, very eccentric. I mean, from just even what's hot mainstream, you have so many dynamics. From you have simultaneously you have like Kendrick and Migos popping at the same time, or SZA and Cardi B popping at the same time. Yeah. It's because you can't just go strictly off of what the people want, but more so what you can give the people.
Yeah, like what you're presenting.
Yeah. Not just wanting a seat at the table, but knowing what you're bringing to the table.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So the NBA and this project, more importantly, like I said, channeling in with more of myself, it's because like I feel like when, taking on the whole premise of potential and tapping into your inner self and all that shit that people be on, like, but when you generally do it and it's done like, like fully honest with yourself and with a consistent effort, you can be the best you, and naturally you'll notice you create your target. You create your own audience where people will just naturally want to know. You becoming you can be very intriguing or mysterious, or these days the wilder your clothes are, the weirder you are, those things just naturally can pull somebody. And now what's also happening is now that's how all these lanes are created, because it's like, well, I can't be like you, but I'm going to just be me over here. Yeah. So, and there's nothing wrong with that, people think there's like this philanthropy to marketing, like where you're supposed to necessarily always conform to the people, and it's not necessarily the case. The catch to marketing is being able to be yourself at the timing where it is the most popular and the most valuable. And if you know timing and your own talent, then, the rest will be self-written.
Heard that.
Yeah, man.
I like that. that.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, I noticed that in a lot of the clips that you post, you work at the same studio essentially. Like, I don't know if you work there like all the time, or just like 95% of the time, but very often I would say. So what would you say, kind of like, how'd you end up working at that studio? What's the name of the studio? How'd you end up working there? How'd that come together to the point where it's like you don't really want to go anywhere else? Like you found a home there essentially. So how did it get to that point, and what do you think that lent to that chemistry? What do you think that chemistry lent to this particular project?
So yeah, first and foremost, shout outs to Marlon Ponce. He's the engineer. He's the person who, that's his studio. It is a, just like a public area that he's been able to now rent out for himself and pretty much make money off himself. And I'm I just like take, like I said, myself as one of his main artists.
Heard that.
There was at one point where, yeah, I've never not worked there, and there was a point where I was there every Tuesday and Sunday.
Gotcha.
So, yes, it's definitely a home, and you know how it became that was the pride that he took in his work and the pride that he took in his home. And when you know, when we would work, you know, it was turned up vibes, no question. I stayed turned, but you know, there was a lot of discipline in terms of just the like I said, paying attention to detail. Just watching him as he went through the boards, you can tell that he wouldn't want the recording to sound bad, because when someone asks where'd you laid it down at, he likes when people, you know.
Yeah.
You know, not only that, when I brag so much and when people hear my music, which almost brags for me, they naturally want to know where they can record. So I've bought him business. And if anybody knows, if you can bring your plug of business, he's going to serve you more. So I just naturally noticed that the connection was there because, like I said, he did not want the recording to sound bad. So his input, his critiquing, the you know, encouragement through just hearing it. Because one thing about me is just naturally there's going to be loyalty because I don't know many people here. I'm not from here. But also I have been through a series of engineers and recording studios. To put it in perspective, I made 3 projects, full projects, 1 EP, and set out 4 singles in April.
Yeah.
All of those have been done except for the very first project under the same guy. And that's just in the matter of a year and a half. So that just shows you where, like, even in the midst of, I'm aware there's other people, there's other studios out there, and shout outs to all of them, but I just know where my comfort zone is. And it's not more so just to the great sound that he's made, because he has made my sound. Whatever makes me sound, you know, like deep tone and all that other stuff, that's from his mixing and mastering, which is by far, like I said, I can't question his skills, but it's the pride in the music. When he bounces that beat, he feels good about it as I do.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Which is important.
Very nice, very nice. How did that lend to, you know, this project? Would you say
He knew. That's what is crazy. He knew something was up with me. He was like, "Yo, you good? Like everything." He's like, "Yo, you in your bag right now," because I would go in just with so much energy, you know, doing songs in one take. Like I've never taken long on a song, but just in the dynamic that I was doing it, where he could see the comfortability in like my voice and ad libs. Which is, if any rapper knows, it's like it makes and breaks a song. So I don't write anything down. So ad-libs have always been hard. So with this one, he's like, man, your freaking ad-libs are scary as hell. They like right on point, like they line up. Like he's like, you making it fun. Yeah. He was like, this project was like, you know. I was looking forward to when you would book sessions and I said, like, I had a nice little regiment where it was every Tuesday and Sunday, even if we were, you know, mixing something down or laying something down, it was just like we were having that time to kind of just see where we wanted to put the direction of this project. And so, you know, but that came from I just calling it what it is. This is going to be different from any other project. Okay. And it came from that, so.
Oh yeah, very nice. So you know, you pretty much got there at one point or another. You know, found your home, and at this point, like you know, you guys have just built up to where you just get in and you lock in and you do it. So I think.
Yeah, I don't even, you know, I don't knock it, but like you know, you have those artists that like I need the hen dog first, dog. I love it. I dropped them keys down. He's like, yo, you sent me the email. You got all my songs. Let's go ahead and we could do all that. Trust me, the hinge is in the car, but we're gonna do that after our ladies' songs.
Let's get that work.
And he loves it. He says he's like, and you know, there's certain people he was just like wish that he had that work ethic, and it goes a long way because the music's gonna be laid regardless. But you can tell when someone, you can just almost hear it when someone's like, oh yeah, he didn't play when he was on that day. He laid it down. He was sharp as shit, and I love when you can hear it. So
facts.
I like that.
Got you. All right, so we talked a little bit about Shine earlier.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, why did you choose Shine as the lead single, and how people have been responding to it, would you say?
Why Shine? Because it's different from the rest of the project.
Okay.
It's the only reason, really. I wanted the tone. I wanted the awareness to be there, but the impression to be kind of like a surprise.
Gotcha.
So if you like Shine, don't get too comfortable because we all about to rattle your seats real quick. Sean is
Straight up.
put it like this, Sean is the most bubbly song on that motherfucker.
It's not a sneak peek, really.
It's not a sneak peek. Don't get it twisted.
More like a sneak attack.
The sneak attack, yes. And I took on a mainstream sound. I took on something that's, like I said, a little more generally pleasing to the masses. You know, a concept that I feel like everybody can just relate to. And if you listen to it, or if you haven't even listened to it, just taking on the title Shine. Everybody contesting to these times being so dark and not knowing what to do. And I get it. We all get it. But you know, if you correlate it to just to what you can do for other people, and just rather big or small, you know, just to pump people up.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, regardless if you don't know what you can do with yourself, but what you can do for somebody else, you can brighten up their day or whatever. So Sean can have a lot of meanings, of course, just stun on these niggas. For anybody who's worked as hard as they have, 2 jobs, you know, single parent or you know, going to school, going to work or whatever, or just got laid off, but just can't stop because their bills are due. Like, and you paid those bills. Feel good about it. Like, celebrate those small successes. Shine that weekend. You know, what else are you working for if you're not gonna
enjoy
do
that
it?
shit
A little
bit.
you know, there's of course a humility that has to come with it, but it's 2017 and you're just not gonna get heard if you're not. If that, and when I mean like shining, I mean like if your aura and your positive vibes are not being felt.
Yeah.
Because it's just right now it's just too many people in the room.
Yeah.
And there's too many people talking the same thing that you're talking. So they
That
need to
is
feel
true.
it. They need to see it. They need to see, oh, you put your mans on? They are both doing it. Like, they need to see those things
Yeah.
as opposed to just talking about it. And it's the last song on the project. Like, if it goes back to what I was saying from volume 1 to 2 to what will be 3 is going back to the people. So like I said, for this to be back a song pushing the people up, like kind of saying like after you've listened to the whole project, not saying that it's about me, but like after you've gotten that, now it's like, all right, but let's not forget the bigger picture.
Yeah.
This is all for the people,
people.
once again.
Heard
So
that.
that's what it is. It kind that song specifically ties everything together and kind of before the curtains close.
Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, what if the people said, you know, about
Yeah.
the song a little
They
bit?
rock with it, man. They said it's fun, and it was fun because it was fun when I recorded it. You know, I switch up the flow so many times, and there's little things that I've done to the song. I even use like a Total reference from the group Total, and if you know right now, like nostalgia on samples or old school 90 references, it's just like people love that.
Yeah.
I even had, you know, observations that the song should have probably been released in the summer. Duly noted because I agree now.
Yeah.
You know, and then of course the beat was made by my homeboy Jacob Lethal, and everybody loves the beat.
Yeah.
Like, and of course, like, cause I love the beat. As soon as I heard it, I said,
Heard
okay, yeah. My motivation for songs are the beat. So I'm really like stop what you're doing, do this song because
The beat is that hard.
It's
Yeah.
just that hard. So that's what that was, and people were saying, yeah, that's what it was much needed.
Got you.
It was definitely much needed, but like I said, just can't get too comfortable because it's about to get weird on this project.
Heard
I'm
that.
just saying.
Interesting.
Yeah, man.
Heard that. We definitely like it as well, and we'll be playing that for sure. You already
Yeah,
know.
yeah. It's a good
Yeah.
vibe. Good vibe.
All right. So what's next for KP Gwala?
So yeah, I mean the show never stops, man. We're gonna do this listening party for the fans and for the family and the friends, and we're gonna go through it like that. We're gonna build up to the project dropping HMV2 Honorable Mention Volume 2 is Friday.
Gotcha.
It'll be on SoundCloud, then on all major digital platforms from there. And then less than 24 hours from there, I will be relocating to
Yeah,
Washington,
yeah.
D.C.
You were telling us a little bit about it, you know, pre-show.
Yeah.
But yeah, get into it a little bit more
Let
because
the people know how you feel
Yeah,
about
I don't
that.
even think y'all knew. Like, it was kind of
Yeah, no.
like it
Nah.
was like in the dark for a lot of people,
Yeah.
but
Heard that.
me included. All jokes aside, I'm a man of action, and I definitely knew, like, after I got my degree, which you guys are aware of, we talked about, and just wanted to take advantage of that and go into my company and seeing what I can do. This was one of the things that kind of, like I said, I tapped on it earlier, but this was one of the things that stemmed from that. And, you know, I was just, it started with a casual conversation, you know, and an advice tip is, you know, you never know what comes from chit chat. So don't
Yeah.
be so anti when your boss be just wanting to, like, chit chat. She's really not like trying to small talk you. She's trying to see
Trying
what
to
you're
figure you
Trying to
out,
figure
see
you
what you.
yeah. So don't be so nervous and stuff. She just wants to see that you're a regular person that can be hip to an advance if you get one. So I got one.
Gotcha.
And I was like, yeah, I'm with it. And they, it makes sense. Like I have my family there, my grandparents and my mother and my little brothers. They about to be 16-year-old twins running wild. So
Gotcha.
to get back to them is gonna be my main focus. I never like to put a disclaimer out there or make major announcements of absences or hiatuses.
Yeah.
But to reality is relocating is gonna probably just put the music on a hold for a little bit.
Yeah.
Just because you got to get situated. you gotta
Right.
get
I
everything
mean, just the natural,
flowing.
finding new resources, new studios,
Can't
new
go to your own
engineers.
studio anymore.
Right.
Yeah, that
Oh,
whole
please, yeah.
chemistry.
That last studio was so emotional. That session was so emotional.
I bet.
We went in. Oh man, but it's it's all well and done. Just so I can just level myself up so we can keep this music going because it will keep going. You can
still pass the files to him too to mix it down.
Oh yeah. No, don't, trust me. I got it already set up. It's crazy how the music world works now. It's not even a world geographically. It's all online.
Yeah.
That's the music world. Like back in the day where you had to claim like, oh, you a Houston artist or you a New York rapper or whatever. It don't matter where you're from or where you're going. As long as you have that presence and that connection and communication online, you can do pretty much everything.
Yep.
So I will be doing that for a while. But like I said, this project is set to, this is the turkey, so y'all can eat the leftovers for a little bit.
Heard that.
Make some turkey sandwiches off this.
Heard that.
While I cook some more chicken.
Yeah.
I got you.
So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, big move.
Definitely,
Very
man.
Big
Orlando
moves,
will
and
be
then a big
missed.
move.
Yeah, Orlando will definitely be missed. This city. Believe it or not, I've always bigged it up though, because like I said, when I go to Cali or I've been to Atlanta, or even when I go back home, I say, yeah, y'all know what y'all know about Orlando, but I'm telling you the talent is real, just because of we're a big melting pot. Most people from here not even from here, so we have that opportunity to use resources in different just like cultures and backgrounds and have it like accessible to us. Like where I'm from. Especially like in like major cities up north, like if you're not from there, like it's like most people like grew up there, like
Exactly.
same-
That's
so like
That's how
same
it is.
grandmama Joe still sitting on the corner like just chilling. So like here it's not like that. Like you can run across anybody, like just how I met you guys. So
Yep.
that was like one thing hands down I'd take from me from Orlando, and nobody will take from me because it's like the talent is undeniable. We got some things on the back end in terms of support to work on, but once we figure that out. We're going to be a problem, yo. Shout outs to all the artists. Y'all already know who y'all are doing your thing right now. From everybody, putting the city on. Just keep doing it because I'll be doing the same.
Facts.
Yeah.
All right. And where can people find you and your work?
You can find me on all your social media sites at KPGWALA, KP Gwala, Knowledge Power Money. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, I drop a lot of, like I said, exclusive stuff on mostly IG and Twitter. But now, what I'm saying, I got a Facebook page. I got a Facebook, artist page.
Yeah, you didn't have that before, right?
Yeah. The kids told me, they like, you get a page. I'm like, yo, I ain't got time for it. But I got one now, trying to do it right. So yeah, you can catch me anywhere you look.
All right.
All right.
Hell yeah. So you can definitely catch him, find him, follow him, Obviously, it's worth it to check out what he's got going on.
Yeah.
He puts a lot of work into all the details he was talking about,
For
paying
sure.
attention to detail, you know what I mean? The new
got
project
to.
is coming, so
You got to, man.
definitely check him out. And if you want, you can also check us out on pretty much, IG and Twitter. You can catch us at Misfits Create, and then on Facebook, it's facebook.com/Misfits Create. On SoundCloud, you can search us on Creative Misfits. Same thing for iTunes. We're also on Stitcher, and we're also on TuneIn. So you can pretty much, search Creative Misfits on those platforms. And we're also on YouTube now. I believe if you search Misfits Create, that would be the easiest way to get to us. And it actually has a space if you do it on YouTube. But yeah, definitely follow us as well, and stay updated on the show. Other than that, we definitely want to thank KP for coming
Yes,
through,
thank
for
you.
the second interview. And we caught him right in time because,
Yeah.
For
you're
real.
making your move and everything. So we're glad
Yeah,
that
it's
we got to
only
link up
right.
with you one more time. You know
It's
what I
only
mean?
right. I pretty much, I think, started with you guys in terms of this interview and stuff, and it's only right I finished with y'all. Like I said, it's just the timing couldn't been better. So
Hell yeah.
shout out to the Creative Misfits. Make sure y'all do follow the show. They putting on for the city, so keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
But
Thank you.
appreciate you. Next time it's going to be on Skype.
Live and direct.
And we definitely want to shout out Hip Hop Everything as well, once again. And then
sure.
shout out to you guys for listening, tuning in, watching,
Yep.
however you digesting this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And without further ado, we'll catch you next time, all right?
We out.
Peace.
Later.
I hate your fake belts. I go to work every day just to see the game get cheesier than tuna melts. You chase cars, I chase dreams. You chase thoughts, I need a queen. An ambiance amongst other things, looking at my wallet like ain't nothing but a G thing. Throwing out watch to see who Miracle with. In the inside, same color as Miracle Whip. I know how to grind and I know how to pray. Ever since the PlayStation was gray, when the world would turn, and it all makes sense. And when you mention your friends, it wasn't past tense. I mean, damn, it can get real on God. In the days Trayvon got killed on God, I swear I was gonna be fully prepared to go underground or up in the air. And I mean, it's all about living dreams, unequivocally closing your eyes and nothing's what it seems, a blessing, and everything else is a lesson. So when I say let us pray, I'm extra with the dressing.
Creative Misfits.